Hello my lovely ladies, welcome back to a new video. In this video we are going to talk about the number one reason, and I think also the only reason, why you as a woman might have anxiety. And we're not talking about the anxiety that lasts for only a day and then goes away. We're talking about the chronic anxiety that has been going on for a very long time in your life, goes away for 2 weeks, sometimes if you're lucky months, comes back, and sometimes it goes away for a couple of hours, come back. So every woman is different, but this is an explanation on why a lot of us women do have this chronic anxiety. A lot of us, me included, I didn't even know that it was anxiety, and I knew, you have that feeling, that gut feeling, but you don't know why. And if that's the reason, if that is how you're feeling, I think there's only one explanation for it. So you can divide women into groups. Literally only two groups. You have the feminine energy women and you have the masculine energy women, and there's no difference in looks. They look the same. With behavior you can kind of tell still a difference, so they behave the same way, but if you look at them there's a slight difference. But what happens in the body, that's where it gets interesting. So the feminine energy women, their hormones, their energy levels, they're so different, almost the opposite from the masculine energy women. Does it mean that when you are a feminine or a masculine energy woman that you will never be able to change or become from masculine to feminine? Yes, you can. And it all depends on your environment, your mindset, your lifestyle, how you were raised. A lot of factors play a big role in that. Some people were saying, like some writers were talking about 75%. There was a scientist that was talking about 60%. So let's say that it is like 60% of women on this planet that have feminine energy, and then you have 40% that are masculine energy. But what is happening when you compare that to 50, 100 years ago? It was 75% of women who were feminine energy, and then 25 were masculine energy. And the more you go back, the less masculine energy women existed on this planet. What is happening is that today's society, today's lifestyle, today's schools, today's workplaces, the environment you grow up in, they're all drilling these women to become masculine energy women on this planet, because that is what the world wants. It is because of social media that a lot of girls are like, well, this is not what I want. And I feel like Gen Z and the generation after that are slowly seeing through that. In today's society, it is very hard to protect your feminine energy and that feminine energy space. I didn't know what was going on in my life and why I was feeling that way and why I had so much anxiety, and I had no idea where it came from, because I am 100% feminine energy woman. But from a very young age, I think from the age of 14, 13, I got, by your family, by your environment, like the message: you need to study really good, you need to get real good grades, you need to get like a good job, be very successful, work on your career, be very career driven. All of us women nowadays, we are drilled that way, especially us who come from like parents with an immigration history. Those parents will be like, well, we didn't have the same chances as you did. We had to walk, 2 miles in the mud and through water to go to school. You don't have to do that, so your grades better be good. And I sacrifice myself so you can have education. But that is actually very, very, very wrong, because what happens here is that this creates some sort of pressure on the feminine energy women. This doesn't mean that all of us women should cook and clean and spend time in the kitchen, because obviously a lot of brave women have fought, for our rights, for our, to be treated the exact same way. We are the exact same. There's no difference between a man and a woman when it comes to rights, when it comes to how you should treat each one of them. But what I feel like, and right now what is happening, is that the masculine energy women are celebrated, life is amazing for them, and the feminine energy women, they just trying to survive. in today's society, and that is where this anxiety is coming from. Most of the women that have anxiety are feminine energy women. I didn't know what was going on. I felt different from the rest of the other women and everyone in my class, but it's because years and years and years ago, and I'm not saying that I didn't want to study and I didn't want to, you know, studying is amazing, it's important, but the pressure is like, you know, you need to have a career, you need to have this, you need to have the pressure on women in today's society. It's high, it's crazy. Years and years and years ago, it was just, you know, let them study so they can play the piano, they can take care of their kids, be good homemakers, let's teach them how to cook, let's teach them how to speak elegantly, let's teach them how to read books so they have something to talk about, you know, be cultural without giving them the pressure that they need to take care of their family and this and this and this, because women already have so much pressure. Taking care of a household, taking care of your children is already more than enough. I mean, a lot of us women, you know, if you're watching and you're a housewife or if you're a mom, a lot of us know that's already the biggest stress, the biggest thing that you already can get. Raising children, being a homemaker is already a very, very big deal. It is even more than going to work and then coming home. Believe me, and I think everyone knows that. Even the men, they kind of know, but they don't want to admit that. I had this pressure on me, and it's not from family, more also the environment. You need to study, teachers finding me stupid and treating me different. Like, I was good in languages, I was good, and I loved talking, I loved geography, but I was very bad at math. Instead of embracing that and, you know, finding a way to develop yourself without being like, you're stupid, you don't know math, you don't know this, I was always feeling pressured and having that stress by the end of the year that you have to do that year all over again because your grades are not enough. Teachers warning you, like, if you will be passing with these grades next year, you will not make it. You know, it starts from a very young age for us girls. I was 12, 13, you know, when it happens. Just got into or out of your puberty, and then you get enrolled into this roller coaster, and especially when you are a feminine woman, this is very hard for us. The masculine energy women, they like that. They enjoy it. They're very like, yes, I can do it, and math, and now they will find like a solution. Okay, I'm not good at math, I will do this, I will do that. You know, talk with the teacher, find a solution. That is also what men do, you know. Oh, it's not working, let's find a solution. Well, feminine energy women, they're like, panic. You know why? Because we want our partner to bring the solution. We take care of the family, we bring the warmth. Again, I have nothing against studying, working, but the biggest stress in my life was this pressure on me because I was so feminine. I was like 100%, 1000% feminine energy woman. So for me, it was extra difficult. So I graduated. I don't even know how I did it. I graduated and I went and studied law. So I went into law school, to the university. So what happened to me was, because I was such a feminine energy woman, while I was studying, I met my partner. And he comes from a culture, and I think a lot of feminine energy women really appreciate it, where the man works. And I come from a culture like that as well. But like I said, today's society brings that pressure. So even if you come from a culture where the woman is kind of at home and takes care of the children and the man works, I was brought up in a culture like that, but your environment, you know, everyone is like pushing you. And if you're a stay-at-home mom, you kind of get looked down on, or, oh, you didn't do anything, or, oh, that's what you're going to study. You're going to study for being a hairdresser. You know, everyone have this pressure on you to become like a lawyer, to become a doctor, to become this, to make it in life. And that is even higher for men, but most men, they have masculine energy. So even if they are feminine energy men, they have a lot of that masculine energy in them as well, to find a solution and to get through life and navigate through life without a lot of trouble. But feminine energy women don't have that. And I noticed as soon as I met my partner, and I was still in that mindset of, you know, because society formed me into that mindset, like, I need to study, I need to get a degree, and I need to, you know, have a law firm and be very successful. My now husband told me, you know, you can do whatever you want. You want to study, you study. You want to open the biggest law firm in Europe, you do that. You want to stay at home, do nothing, you do that. So some of that pressure was off, you know, because I knew this is the one, I'm going to marry him. I was very young, I was 19, but I didn't get married until the age of 25. So by the age of 23, 24, I graduated law school and I went and worked in a law firm as a, how do you say that in English, an intern. But back in my time, I needed to do 2 years as an intern in a law firm in order to be able to become a lawyer. When I started to work there, I got really miserable. I was very happy in my personal life, but my career, I was not happy at all. It was the most miserable time of my life. I felt out of place, and I was just thinking by myself, like, this is it. This is where I've studied. I've studied so many years for this. This is going to be my life. I'm going to get married in a couple of years and this is it. I still didn't know what was going on, okay? I noticed that I got anxiety from the responsibility, from the studying, from the work, and I would just get major anxiety. And as soon as I got married and as soon as I left that job and I noticed, you know, my husband took all the responsibility with, you know, paying the bills, doing that, I felt like such a heavy burden just fell off my shoulders. And I enjoyed cooking, I enjoyed cleaning and being at home and going to Pilates. A lot of us women in today's society, we are pressured from and like dragged out of our kitchens, out of the living rooms, out of our feminine energy lives, and we're like, we have to work. A lot of women in today's society, they're very lucky if they can say that they don't have to work and that their partner earns enough. Unfortunately, a lot of women in today's society, they're pressured by being brainwashed that they need to study, that they need to have a job. A lot of women enjoy that. I'm not talking about the women that enjoy working and they don't want to be dependent on a man, because a lot of women feel that, like, I work, you know, even though we have enough income, I don't want to be dependent on a man. No, 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 no. Completely understand that, but again, that is your mindset, that is your energy. You feel good doing that, and I don't have anything to say about that, but there are a lot. That is what I want you to understand. Like a lot of women attack the women that make comments about women working. I don't make any comments about women who enjoy working, who love to. You go, girl, that's great. And I also feel like, yes, you shouldn't be dependent on a man even if you are a stay-at-home mom, but for a lot of women, it's just they can just not cope. They cannot handle it, especially after children. It just becomes too much. Like for me, it was like major anxiety, almost like you're not suicidal, but it almost gets to that. Like you just hate everything and everyone. And even though I was very happy in my personal life, like that stress, that anxiety that I got, it played a major, and it had a major toll. And a lot of women in today's society, they need to work. They cannot live on just one income. They are forced to work. So that is even the hardest part. Like if you enjoy being a girl boss, working, you know, having that energy to do that, and you cannot imagine yourself just being at home all day, that is great. But there are a lot of women who don't have that energy, who don't like to take that responsibility, but they have to. And that is really, really hard. It is the same. You can't compare it exactly the same as a masculine, like a very masculine energy man who, you know, you have these feminine energy men who like to spend time with their family 24/7 with the kids, cook, clean. You have men like that, but most men not. And it is the exact same thing as forcing a very masculine energy man who is used to going to work and just coming home to his family in the evening, his dinner is maybe already cooked, to force him to take care of the kids, take care of his wife, and cook, clean every single day. This man will get a burnout. He will go crazy. Most men cannot handle a lifestyle like that because it's more for the women, the feminine energy. The feminine energy women, they're not forced to do that. They love to do that. I'm not forced to sit at home and, cook and clean, but I just enjoy it. But because it was so looked down upon, it's just like, well, women who cook and clean, they don't have any rights and this and this and this. You're like, okay, I need to study, I need to have a career, not knowing that if you are feminine energy women, this will destroy your mental health. And unfortunately, in today's society, so many women, they're just trying to hang on there and try to be part of this new society, but they don't know what's going on and why they cannot handle it. They have depression, they have burnout. I used to work at, it was a very well-known clothing store as a student. So I would go to school and then I would go to work. And I noticed that a lot of women who worked there, they were forced to work there because they couldn't survive on just one income. But I noticed that they weren't very happy with their lives. Some even got burnouts. And it is just women trying to hang on. For a lot of women, they don't understand what is going on and they don't understand where this anxiety is coming from, because everyone is living like that. And why am I feeling this way? Why am I getting anxiety? I wanted to feel safe. And as soon as you have someone that makes you feel safe and makes you take that pressure away from you, I feel like a lot of women, they start to be like, this is amazing. I want security. I want to know what is the next step. Again, for masculine energy women, that is not the case. They need to first, they are fine with their lives. They can take care of themselves. They can live alone without feeling alone. They're independent. They're very strong women. So when someone comes into their life, they need to first make sure, like, okay, this and this and this, and I'm not just going to marry you in a year. Are you crazy? I want to get to know each other first. But feminine energy women, obviously, I want to get to know this person first. It's also what happened 50 years ago, 100 years ago. You got these women who would be treated as women, like reading books, piano, walking in a park, and then they would meet someone, and if they and their parents agreed, they would get married. Women look down upon that, but I think it's a great system for the feminine energy women. For the masculine energy women, it is the total opposite, and they would feel like they're being put into chains and they would feel like they're in prison. And years ago, masculine energy women were looked down upon because they were different, they were stupid, they were like men, and they were, this and this and this, and for them breaking through in society was very brave. And a lot of masculine energy women, they wrote books. And I feel like us women, we get pressured so much by the outside world that the world needs to kind of back off from us women. Us women, doesn't matter, masculine energy, feminine energy, we need to embrace ourselves and we need to embrace how we want to live our lives. Feminine energy women, by today's society, by men, obviously, are called gold diggers nowadays, and the masculine energy women are called stupid, ugly feminists, when you look at the stereotypes. And that really needs to stop, because both type of women are amazing, and those stereotypes are definitely not the truth. So if you have major anxiety and you are a feminine energy woman, kind of look what is going on in your life. Maybe it's kind of the workplace, or maybe it is some kind of responsibility, maybe at your school or at your work or something. Maybe you are living alone and you cannot handle it. Like feminine energy women, their anxiety can come from having a little bit too much responsibility in the outside world. So that is where major anxiety attacks can come from. So I hope this video will kind of help you, because it helped me so much when I finally discovered, like, oh yeah, it's because of this and this and this. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will be seeing you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.